we're going to be focusing on my area, which is STEM industries. STEM here at Brooklands includes engineering, science and construction. So this evening we're going to be taking you on a tour and you can see some of the facilities we have here. So whilst this has been a particularly difficult year for all of us, it's posing some fantastic opportunities for our students in the future. Construction was one of the first industries to return, and engineering, we're going to have such a shortage, so now's the time. Get your engineering head on and come and join us here at Brooklands. As you'll all be aware, scientists this year have worked harder than ever to help us all get out of this pandemic. So science is definitely in the forefront of a shortage of workers in the future. We need you now. We need you to come and join us now so that you can help us all in the future.
Because we've obviously had all that rain. Water removed. Continue taking off layer by layer. Make sure you leave the skeleton pedestals. Yeah, so it's got everything underneath. So you can see it. And photography, yeah, as you go down, documenting what you're doing and going. Okay, what the students are doing at the moment is they're carrying on from a previous lecture, forensic anthropology, where recovering subhuman remains has been discovered, and they're collecting them as per the procedures for forensic act. Once they've done that, they will be taken back to the laboratory where the bones will be examined, injuries, wounds, etc., to try and identify how the person died, if it was mysterious, or if they're older than they appear, whereupon they would come under the archaeology side of things. Anything over 70 years is not classed as suspicious, or they don't tend to look at it as being suspicious. It doesn't fall under the remit of the police. But that being said, if obviously wounds are found, then we'd need to look at that and identify. That's what the students will be doing next, but at the moment they're recovering, and it takes a while because they're only taking small layers of earth off from around the bones to leave the bones on pedestals of earth in order to be documented. Then we can start the recovery process.
It's fun, it's practical, and the teachers are really nice. I just think it's really interesting.
What are your sort of favourite projects that you've worked on?
Probably this, actually. Even though it's hard work, it is good. So yeah, and I like forensic psychology because that's quite interesting too. But we haven't done any like proper projects on that yet. And the photography.
What do you want to do in the future after you've left?
I want to go to uni. I want to get my degree in forensic psychology, and I think I want to be a profiler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We learned about it literally the other day, but it looked really good. So yeah.
So you learned it a bit, and then you thought,
yeah,
that's what I want to do.
I just want to do this, but I feel like profiling's kind of, I don't know. I do like doing this, but I just feel like it's very hands-on and you have to be really, really careful.
Doing qualitative test for amino acids. So they have some amino acid samples, alanine, albumin, which albumin is present in egg whites. Are experimenting test identification for amino acids.
Put that into there, mix them apart. Then we have the Belgian drips. We've got 5 jigs in there, 5 jigs in there, 1% of the aldine in here, and we mix it, and it just needs to sit in about 1 minute.
We're doing forensics, level 3. Yeah. We do the basic biology and doing chemistry, how spirit and how much mass they lose.
What of the course do you like so far?
I really like psychology because we also do things like psychology, where it comes under like things like criminal profiling, etc., and things like environmentals, where we use bug cycles to figure out times of deaths, and archaeology and anthropology, which is bones and obviously digging up bodies and remains. My favourite is psychology so far. I just like the way of criminal profiling where you can basically get a whole offender's profile out of nothing.
So can I ask why you chose Brooklyn?
It's very local to me, and it's the only one I really found that does forensics like specifically instead of doing things like criminology and stuff like that alone. It's the only one I found nearby that does forensics in itself.
And then what do you want to do after the course?
I do want to go further into forensics and the police force to maybe crime scene investigation or anthropology.
Which one now?
1, 2, 30.
32. I'm lighting it.
Who do you can compare with others who have Alright, now we need to. Do you want to put that in the other?
My name is Brandon Johnson. I'm doing this course because it's more practical than theory, and I really enjoy the practical side of it. So as you come in, you've just got the bag area, boot area. You throw boots, you 3 bags up there, and then you walk across here. You go to your bay, depending on what level you're on. So you've got level 1s, which are usually in here, a majority back here, and then you have level 2s that are working in this area here. And it's just basics on level 1, getting the gist of it, realising what you've got to do, and you just walk around. You've got the more advanced things on level 2, doing piers and all sorts of brickwork like that. You've got cavity walls over there. And then as you walk through here, you've got the apprenticeships course. So they only come in about once a week because they're working for the rest of it, but they just practice on all sorts. So here they are doing a cavity wall over here. This is the start of a cavity wall. It's not finished yet, but that is it. So here is the apprentices. It's not too big because there's not too many of them, but they get bigger every year. And as you just continue to walk through, you've got more level 2 space here, and the level 1s are right at the back.
Hi, this is Jamie. He's one of our level 2 students. He's currently doing an assessment job on a cavity wall. We've got 12 hours to finish this wall.
That's your face work. This is all your face work for this is like the front of the house, obviously, and that's where you leave a 100mm gap for your insulation. So all your insulation goes in there, keeps your house insulated, and that's where your block work for it in like the interior of the house. And then that all obviously gets like rendered or whatever, it gets plastered or whatever. And corner, you have to put the wall ties in to tie the 2 walls together, because otherwise they go bendy like that, and that's it really.
So is this your first year or second year?
Second year this is.
Okay.
It's my second year.
What do you like about it? What do you like about the course?
Like being, I don't know, I like pointing it up when it's all done and it looks good. I feel like quite proud of myself. That's what I enjoy doing. That's just the bit I enjoy best.
And you're going to go onto a site? You want to?
Hopefully go onto the site and get some bricks made.
Oh, okay, what do they want?
This is Brandon Johnson, currently doing assessment with level 1 and a half brick wall return.
The practical side of it beats being stuck in a classroom all day. Get something practical out, and it's a skill for life really. Once you've learned it, you've got it behind you. You've always got it. You know, every in the right spot or whatever, you're always able to find work that's labouring.
What do you plan to do in the future?
I plan to get on to level 2, possibly think about level 3, and then just work from there. Work on sites and for a company if I can find one.
Would you recommend Brooklands?
Sorry?
Would you recommend Brooklands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brooklands, when they come in and give you a speech at school, they're just friendly, they're just nice, they're always happy to talk about, you know, the good things about the course, and there's not really anything bad about the course. Everything's good, everything's exciting.
Thank you.
So you can see here Level Joinery Group A currently undertaking their Level 1 diploma in carpentry and joinery. At the moment, a couple of them are doing some nice Christmas gifts for their parents. So some of them are making little flower pot stands. So you'll be able to see them marking those out. They put some decorative edges on them. Other than that, generally the learners are working on their hand joints for Level 1 carpentry. They started that back in September, and they were in, at which point they will start doing their assessment pieces for looking to finish the year. So we've got some dovetail half laps going on. We've got some corner mitre bridles, I believe Wales is doing one over there. And generally the learners are just practicing their hand skills. So what we're learning is we'll give you 4 feet on each side. Make it turn.
Normally on site, all this comes built, just build it ourselves.
Part of your assessment then?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
So what do you want to do after you leave Brooklands? Is this your first year or second year?
Nah, it's my fourth. Yeah, no, I do some schools and go to Level 2 now.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And what will you do after this?
I want to find an apprenticeship so I can learn everything. Like get everything, all the knowledge stuff, and then hopefully find a good job.
Great.
So I'll learn it all.
So what do you like about Brooklands?
The people, the teachers.
You like the practical side, do you?
Yeah, the practical side definitely is better. I'm not really writing firm hands-on.
But we're just doing a miniature scale roofing now. We've got trusses here and there. We've added a ladder here. Then we're adding some boards here, which are meant to represent, you know, at the ends of the roof, which is mostly plastic now they use. It's quite good to just like, you know, come in, get on with stuff, got like the tools we need, you know, there's plenty of impact drills, plenty of saws, chop saws, bits of wood.
And what do you want to do after Brooklands?
Pretty much the same thing as him, get an apprenticeship, learn bits and bobs from everywhere. Hopefully start doing it as my own business, you know, work when I want to work, go on holiday when I want to go on holiday and all of that. And also hopefully finish it because, you know, everything keeps closing and that, so let's hope it doesn't close again.
Well, good carpenters make a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. But it'd be nice to learn like bits and bobs about tiling, maybe a little bit of plumbing every now and then. Just learn some stuff on the job.
And what's over here? What have you been doing? Is it stud walls?
This isn't us, this is I think level 2, but this is stud wall. We had to do this for level 2. So you do your stud wall, put all your bits, and then you put in your door lining and then your door, and you've got to chisel out a little trench where your door hinges. And then you've got to chisel out a little like hole here, which is where the actual door bit goes in. I think these people actually. There you go. So this is our chop saw. You can change it from any angle. You can do diagonal 45-degree cuts or straight 45-degree cuts. It says it all on here. There's a little arrow here that tells you. It's off at the moment, but there's a little light that will show you where the actual cut will be. You just flick that, pull it forward, go straight. Simple as that, gets the job done. Got our batteries here for our impact drills. For charging, I've got different ones with different drills, a bit of scrap wood. Another chop saw here. We've got these things here, but we haven't actually used these yet. But these are mostly, so this bit is mostly used for cutting boards. I'm not too sure what the name of it is, but you put big sheets of board and that will cut it. And then this is for when you're just doing repetitive cuts on little bits of timber. And then that's like it's kind of like a giant vacuum, but it's called a dust extractor. And what it does is all the power machines here, when you turn it on, it will take all the dust off, so instead it won't get in your way, causing, you know, difficulties and all that. That, actually remember from DT in school, Cairo is cool, but that is, if you get a square bit of wood and you plop that in there, and you get a little bit here, it's actually how you make it into like a cylinder. So like, more symmetrical. If you're doing like a little fancy table, if you want fancy little table legs, put a bit of wood in it, get a chisel, and you literally go along like that, and it carves like into a symmetrical cylinder shape, and then you carve your little indents and all that. That's how you get a fancy bit of circular wood. So yeah, if you want to know where you get circular bits of wood, that's where you get it. That's pretty much it really. Our tools are now over here. We've got some hacksaws here, tenon saws are on the other side, chisels, cleaning stuff, handsaw I should say, not hacksaw, I always say handsaw. Handsaw. Tri-squares, rulers, levels, and every now and then there's some ear defenders here and safety glasses, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this classroom. Pretty much the same thing in there, but mostly the wood stored in there.
This is Jack and Lee on level 2 site carpentry. They're currently working on joisting. So this is an example of their work they're proceeding with at the moment. Well, it's about eight different assignments they do. This is one of them. So similar to obviously a smaller version in the house. You know, we're just doing mock-ups really, but it's just using the same timber you use. So yeah, it involves quite a lot of using power tools, setting out, and once they've done it, it's got to do a write-up on it to explain how they have done it.
Like doing things hands-on, which you kind of do in secondary school, so it's more fun.
More practical.
Yeah, I prefer practical.
I prefer doing stuff with my hands and that.
Site carpentry during a level 3 diploma. On this assignment, they've got to put a rebate in, a set of double doors. Once the rebate's done, using the router, they're not hang the doors, obviously put the frame in as well.
I found carpentry interesting. That's why I was going to go Twickenham to do a carpentry course there, but like, most of my friends come here. But yeah, that's why.
What do you like about it?
What, carpentry?
Yeah.
I just find it interesting. I like building up to things.
This part of the installation that we do with the level 2s, they need to do like a PVC conduit. That will be found in more commercial wiring. That's and where they will use single conductors and where they use the PVC conduit. No, not all of them. The Mercenator.
How do you know which one it is?
The grey one, yes? No. Alright. Then what you need to make sure is okay, then you know the angles are almost right.
Yeah.
Then your friend here is going to hold it while you're coming up. Yes, he's going to stand at the bottom there and hold it. And then you're going to make as if you're going to remove that clamp.
Grab onto it, yeah.
Yes. So you need to hard that one. Yes.
So why are we doing this? Why don't you do it now? Huh?
This is domestic installation where they use, and again we start normally with this lighting circuits in the beginning of level 2, where they use twin and earth conductors like you will find in a domestic installation. This is a specific one. It's a two-way lighting circuit where you're going to find it maybe in long hallway or up the stairs where you can switch it on at the bottom and switch off at the top. Alright, help him, Mr. Turn.
How high is it going?
Alright.
That one?
Hook it in. That's safe. Bring it. Make sure it's stable and make sure you check the
angles
stable. Yes. Yeah. You can test between line CPC and the switch line. Don't do it in loop because there's nothing to do. Switch line, and when you test the button, if it's continuous, you're going to get that. But make sure that on every second you test that it's on. Alright. After you've done this, if you're going to test this one, and you're going to test that one, and you're going to record it. Yes. The next one that you need to do, therefore we do not do the ring circuit for this one because it's not a ring circuit. While you've done this one, just go back there while we've done it. If you switch the switch, and you test it, you will get a reading. That's to test that the live conductor is coming through the switch. Alright. All these failings are Once you test it, you test it. Excellent. What's the next step? This is for B, this for A. There's one going around here. We have that. Is that A?
So here at Brooklands you can study aeronautical engineering, motor vehicle, motorsport and manufacturing. We do very well for applications. It's a very popular department for the simple reason that there is a real future for all in these areas. There's so much you can do just because you do a manufacturing course. That doesn't restrict you to only, there are many branches of engineering that you could move on to. Our students come from all over. They don't just come from the Weybridge or local areas. We have students travelling from Bognor, Essex, to come and study the courses here because they don't run anywhere else and we run them extremely well. We think our facilities are wonderful and we look forward to being able to throw our doors open once again so that people can come and see for themselves. But the workshops are well equipped and extremely busy, and it's lovely to see people working in here. Can't wait for all the masks to go so that people can just work as normal. But yes, we have fantastic facilities in both construction, science and engineering.
So I've been studying drive shaft at the moment and how they work, and then we've been taking the wheel and the exits onto it.
It's not a racket.
Service of the red chair.
Did transition last year and did this as an option, and it just kind of like intrigued me to carry on.
Choose a ledge on the side of the hole to see if we can get it to turn.
Frank's doing his own vehicle because he's not due in today, he's just coming to do some extra. He's got an MOT failure and he's changing the bottom track control arm ball joint. He's done most of it himself so far, with a little bit of assistance. And he's just finishing off tightening the ball joint before we assemble the brakes and put the brakes back together this side.
What year you're in at Brooklands?
My third year.
Your third? Yeah. Enjoying it?
Yes.
This is your own car, is it?
I'm still learning to drive, and then once I've done it, it's my car.
Oh, wow.
Over the drive shaft, release the pressure, slide the boot off. We're doing drive shafts today, front wheel drive shafts, inner tripod joints. The guys over there are taking the outer CV joints apart. Lewis is about to try and fit the clip back on now, which is a special type of clip, a circlip to retain that joint. Going to hold the shaft, Lewis, for me. Make sure that the joint goes the right way up. There's a little recess in there which sits over top of there to allow the joint to sit down as far as possible. And then we've got a little motion there where we slide the clip across the top, keeping the joint in place. And you should be able to stand at the time. You should be able to slip the clip in there. It secures that in place, and then we've already replaced the joint on there and the boot so that we can fill up the grease and fit it to the extension shaft back on the car. Have a look at the top side of it. That's it. You need that facing up. So you've got to drop it in so that face is facing up.
It gives me a bit of insight on mechanics, gives me further insight on basically older cars and newer cars and more of an insight. Today we've been learning how to do the drive shafts and transmissions and stuff like that. I can tell it's a happy environment. All of us get along well and stuff like that.
To get off, especially if they're on the car.
I'm a mechanic at the moment, and in the future I'm looking to further work on cars and obviously work on my own car, and that's what this course helps on, working on your own cars, saving more money and stuff like that.
And then what you're going to do, one of each of the and then here you've got two. Okay? You're going to need, just put it on the floor, just lay it down on the floor, flat. And you're going to hold. No, it doesn't matter which one goes in, but put the red one in there, the red one in the ground. Now you'll probably have to hold that with both hands, so you've got holding the probe and the terminal. There's left gone. Now what you're doing is you're looking for a reading on there, so the black one in there,
and then round. Come round and turn the wheel, or what would be the wheel. And Harry should get a reading on that scale.
Go on, get the wine up there. Got these cars that are either this is a Landina Formula 4 there. So I know more about this. So I've got to put these back onto the bits. That's what we're tasked with right now. Got a fuel issue we need to sort out. We've got alternator on the back of it, so it's over here. Last time it was running slightly around here, it was the alternator. So we need to sort that out there. And it hasn't ran properly since 2013. But they got it running about 6 months ago before lockdown, and then like I said, that caught fire the second time they ran it. It took it apart to rebuild it. So that's what we're doing right now. And then we've got
Trying to work out what's wrong with it.
yeah. So we've got today we're drilling out all those rivets, trying to get this off, so we get access under there, get all the fuel issues sorted out.
And that's the body for it, is it there?
Yeah, so all of that's got to go back on in a little bit after we've all fixed all the bits with it.
What level are you doing?
Level 3.
What do you like about studying at Woodlands?
The facilities here are really good. It's like all the workshop space and everything in here is like brilliant for doing the bar stuff. The lecturers really know their stuff. If you need any help with anything.
What do you want to do after you leave?
I'd like to be on some kind of race team. Probably building and tuning up the cars. Who knows?
This is Juan, who's a foundation degree second year student, which is equivalent to level 5. And today I'm going to show Juan our CNC lathe as part of his training at this level. Well, this is a CNC lathe. Most production machines will either be computer controlled. Unlikely you'll find many manually controlled machines anymore because you've got the repeatability of humans removed out of that equation. So it means you can rinse and repeat part production. Kind of finished cut. So if I list the operations, what I tend to do with students is I tend to show them the lathe first. In machine terms, it's the grandfather of all machine tools, and so it's a good place to start where machine tools started, which is with the lathe. Now the nice thing is with this is I've got obviously drawings pre-done, I've got the tools out and ready, it's kind of been set up. I'm just going to calibrate it, run through the programming with one, and then yeah, we'll go from there. We'll start chewing up some metal. In my opinion, you can't ever have enough coolant on an internal bore because of the high pressure. So we can run this down. Here it's got faster.
with all our vocational areas, engineering students are able to benefit from the excellent work experience placements, some ending up securing full-time positions following successful completion of their course. Some of the companies we've been working with include Daytona Racing, Merit Tyres, Mercedes-Benz World, West Surrey Racing, D&D Automobile Engineering, Fair Oaks Airport, Brooklands Museum, McLaren, ALP Racing and Farnborough Airport. These work placements supplement the students' college-based learning, providing the essential on-the-job experience. Students are also able to learn key skills such as team working and communication and develop a sense of independence. Their exposure to the industry can help students decide which pathway is right for them on completion of the course.
So this is a level 1 manufacturing course. What we're doing today is we're making this, which is an angle finder, which they've riveted together, 3 bits of metal. It involves marking out, drilling, tapping a hole, quite a bit of filing. What we're going for is a high quality finish. So this is from blank metal. So when I came here a long time ago, this is what they're actually making. This is what I made about 30 years ago. And this is what they're attempting to make. Combination square. Set it to 190. Set it to 190. Push it through the other way. So look, it's going to be quite long as well. 190. 190's there. Line it up the line. You've got that hands up, yeah? Okay. So next you lay your work down. Put it on there and we'll scribe the line across there. That's that front edge. So you need a So yeah, on like that. You've got a choice of 2 methods. Either use a strip of steel, or it's drill backwards and forwards, or line it up with the there. This is level 2 manufacturing, and we do machining, turning. So we have a turning exercise, which is for their assessment. We're dragging the file backwards. Yeah. Take it. Right, I wouldn't do too much. First thing you want to do, place it on the chuck, face it like that, get it started. Yes. Right, so have a little chuck, set your tool to tool height. Yeah. You make sure there's no tool on the top machine. Yeah. Put all the side please. Okay, you're right, so set that up, basically. We're doing exactly the same. That's exactly right. In there, then we've got to use the centre and still to get it. Is it easy to use centre? Okay. I prefer doing the strip of steel.
Hi, these are the level 3 aerospace maintenance students, and they're currently been introduced to aircraft skin repairs and some of the detail fitting that's required for it. We're making a template at the moment which is going to be used to make duplicate double plates at the back, and they're also making 3-inch patches, so when we take away corrosion, impact damage, etc., we can make it to a true size. They've only been with us for a few weeks now, and they're currently getting used to using the hand tools and marking out as accurately as possible. We've been using height gauges for making templates, and they're also using a pencil and rule method with a compass to pitch holes, and they're making a pretty good job of it. I'm pleased with them so far.
It's slightly short, it doesn't matter. Because the circle is going to be smaller than that anyway. The big one. So what is the big one? That goes in the back. That goes into the hole. We rip the hole So we've got to put multiple papers on it. We've got multiple papers on
I like the practical side and also learning the theory side. So we're learning about the aircraft, which is what I like to learn about.
Okay. Why did you choose to study at Brooklands?
I wanted to go into aeronautics or digital design. I went for aeronautics course because I found out it would be more like what I'm interested in.
Okay. And what do you want to do in the future?
Become an aircraft engineer, either civil or in the military.
It's measuring, I think, the height off the ground.
Okay.
So I'm like elevating the piece, and then it's got the exact centimetres in it. Or is it inches?
Set your compass at level reach and check it every time you draw that. You can, to be honest, it's easier to do the bigger one first, and then work back in. Something like this better than easier.
Well, so you got 1.5 in the centre. Yeah, we've got each one.
So whilst you're waiting now, get yourself in the protractor.
Students interested in aeronautical engineering are able to study both a Level 2 and 3 aircraft maintenance qualification at Brooklands College. Students develop key skills and acquire valuable experience in this fast-paced, challenging engineering sector. Combining study with practical learning, our aeronautical courses offer us an exciting foundation for a career in the aeronautical engineering industry. Brooklands students, of course, benefit from the proximity of both Heathrow and Gatwick airports, offering a range of job opportunities. The courses teach the basics of aviation engineering, studying subjects such as the fundamentals of aviation science, airframe construction, electronic principles, and the theory of flight.
Hello and welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed your virtual tour of construction science and engineering. This is now our live Q&A session. In previous times we've actually been able to do this live, but unfortunately this evening we're going to have to do this as a recorded discussion due to COVID restrictions. We're not all permitted to be together. So I'll pass you over to Jo.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. So we've got to this evening Teresa, who heads up the engineering and science departments, and Terry, who heads up the construction department. So what we're going to do is ask some questions that we typically get asked. I get asked in the schools. I'm from the school liaison team, and also open events. We get asked obviously a lot of questions from parents and students. So we're just going to ask some typical questions we get asked at these sort of events. So just kicking it off from one I get asked an awful lot of is actually about levels. So the students sort of say they've done really well in their GCSEs. They've got the 5 grade 4s that they're required to typically go onto a level 3 program. But when they come to the college, they're advised actually a level 2 might be appropriate, particularly on some of the engineering courses and construction. Can you just talk the students through that that process of what level they'll be going on to? Perhaps you could start, Terry, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So, dependent on your GCSE grades, you'll be given specific advice dependent on what your choices are. So, all courses vary. Within the construction department, there are certain restrictions to this. So, it doesn't always mean you can necessarily go straight onto a level 3. It does mean that you'd need to do a level 2 program due to it being a license to practice. Once you've done your level 2, you can either then choose to go out into industry because you've got the license to practice, or do the advanced skill with your level 3 programs. So it really does depend which of the courses within STEM industries you'll be choosing. They all vary, but you'll be offered that advice during the enrolment process.
Yeah.
And engineering, Teresa?
Same in engineering, really, particularly in aeronautical and manufacturing, that you have to start at level 2 in order to get the hand skills and the knowledge required, because the entry requirement for level 3 is actually that you have done the level 2. It's still the same length of time. It still takes 2 years to do 1 year for the level 2, 1 year for the level 3. So I think you'll find that you get through in exactly the same length of time, but the importance is obviously we have to teach stuff from a very basic level, otherwise you can't possibly access those level 3s.
Okay, great. That's great. Thank you. Another one we get asked a lot is some of the students say, again, an example for construction would be that they're looking to do general site work. So they're interested in both the bricklaying side and the carpentry side. But when they come and have a look at our facilities and courses, you have to do one or the other. Similarly, in engineering, perhaps they might be interested in motor vehicle and motorsport. What advice can you give to the students about how to progress their application, and what can they do to make sure they've got both skill sets?
So our advice would be you'd be able to do both over 2 years. So you could do your bricklaying first or your carpentry first, and then you could sidestep and do the alternate to which you did in your first year. Once you've done either or, you'd then be able to choose your preferred level 3 advanced course. So we would recommend that that's what you do. You take full advantage of the funding that's offered to you as a learner of a particular age, and that you do a full 3 years worth of training. So you do 2 level 2s and then a level 3, or if you're keen to get into employment, you choose your most favoured option, and then you go on to your level 3 that you would like to advance in.
So the motor vehicle course, they're very practical. They're City and Guilds courses, and they equip you with all of the knowledge that you would require to go out to work in industry. You can start at entry level and go all the way up to level 3. Motorsport we only offer at level 3 at the moment. It's a more academic course, although there is still quite a lot of practical work involved. So generally, it depends on what you're most comfortable with. If you prefer a practical course, you would be better off doing the City and Guilds course. But if you have intentions to maybe progress to university and get involved in more designs type work later on, then we would advise that you do the motorsport course, which is the more academic of the two. Not easier by any manner of means, but the more academic.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Another one I've got written down here is about apprenticeships. Students want to obviously pursue an apprenticeship route. when should they do this? Initially, when they're 16, or what are your recommendations in terms of when they should start the apprenticeship? We get a lot of people wanting to do an electrical installation apprenticeship, for example.
Okay, so it really depends on your GCSE results, on any practical skills that you may already have. So during your initial advice and guidance interviews, we would look into those things and advise you accordingly. We would most likely recommend that you do some of the training on our full-time courses initially, to then progress on to the apprenticeship, because that is perceived more as an advanced, again, licensed to practice. So we would certainly recommend that you do some training at college first before you move into the apprenticeships for electrical engineering.
The same really for motor vehicle, and we also have aeronautical apprentices as well. It is advisable to do a full-time course, especially at 16 first, to get your the basics underneath, so that when you then do take an apprenticeship, you're in a better place. You've got a little bit more to offer an employer, and you've taken full advantage of the funding available to you and the free education that you can have.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Students at the moment are getting understandably quite worried about the application process. So can you just reiterate what we advise in terms of applications and timescales, and what the process would be after they've applied to Brooklands?
Yes, no problem at all. So what we would say is apply now. You know, nothing's set in stone, and we appreciate that life at the moment is all very uncertain. But as far as we're concerned, we're trying very hard to keep things as normal as possible, albeit through a laptop. I would suggest that you apply now, and then what happens is you can apply online this evening once you've finished watching this, if you wish, and then you will be invited into an applicants event, which unfortunately again will probably be through this medium, but obviously as soon as we're able to have people back onto campus, that's what we want. We want you to see what you're signing up for. Sorry, excuse me. So, and then from that, you will be able to have a little bit more in-depth conversation with tutors, so you can learn as much about the course as possible, and then take their advice and then decide which way you'd like to go.
Okay, lovely. Thanks, Teresa. And again, I think you've touched on it there really, but understandably, again, the students are getting a bit frustrated that they can't see. We talk about all our facilities, and it's all vocational courses are, of course, all about the facilities. They can't get to see them, so they can't get a real feel. We've tried that to show them an insight in these sessions that we're holding, like today's. But you know, can we offer them any hope that they'll be able to come in and see the campus before they start? They would start in September. Do we have any plans along those lines?
There's certainly a hope.
Sorry,
Teresa. There's certainly a hope to do that. Obviously, it will all be dependent on the lockdown restrictions and how long they go forward for, and dependent on the tiering system of how we come out of the lockdown. But certainly, the hope is there that any learners that wanting to start with us in September will have the opportunity to come onto site and see what our facilities are.
Fabulous. So that's great. Okay. And I know from a marketing perspective, we're working with the departments at the moment, trying to sort of see if we can organise something that will help the students see a little bit more about what the college has got to offer. Terry, Teresa, have you got any questions that people have asked you at open events that you want to cover this evening?
Teresa, do you want to?
Yeah. They often ask, what can I do next? Where can I go from here? We're extremely fortunate here at Brooklands in that you can start at an entry level and you can actually finish with a bachelor of a degree in engineering. We go all the way up to level 6 qualifications here in conjunction with Oxford Brookes University on our motorsport course. As well as science, you can stay, you can do your HNC, your HND. So there's so much that you can do. That doesn't mean that you have to leave home, which is quite nice in this day and age, isn't it, really? The other thing I get asked is equipment. What do I need? And I think Terry's probably the same as me in this respect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Solid foot protection is all. So please make sure you've got some really good toe protector boots. And if you're coming to engineering, we like you to have overalls as well, just to protect your clothes. If you're going to work in a garage, you're not going to stay clean. So we'd recommend that you've got some protection over your outside clothes.
Yeah, and the same for construction. You will be required to have some health and safety gear as such, and there will be small kits that you can purchase that we will advise you about once you've enrolled onto the course.
The students will have seen all the facilities like these spanners and all that sort of thing. Is it all provided, Terry, in construction, or do they have to provide their own kit?
We're quite lucky. The resources are available, but we would always encourage learners that are studying any practical or vocational courses to start building their kits at the first opportunity, because once they go out into work, that's what they'll be required to use. So anything that you go into vocationally, I would recommend you always start to build some form of personal kit anyway. So certainly within construction, we would be guiding our learners to do that.
Okay, and the other one, of course, is work experience. I know we touched on that in the clips that you've just seen, that the students have just seen. But is this something that's offered to all students, or just certain courses, or can you elaborate on that for us?
Trudy, do you want me to talk about, if I go talk about study programs, do you want me to?
That'd be great.
Okay, so each course is set up within a study program, so it's really important that you access all aspects of that study program. So within that, you'd have your main program of learning, which would be your construction, your motor vehicle, your aeronautical engineering. Alongside that, you then have your work experience, your English and maths if you need it. If you haven't got the grades, and you need to resit those. And then you also get your tutorial, which is a pastoral session where you don't talk about things that are going on that are linked to your course, but it's all about how you're progressing, setting targets, and how you can move forward, and giving you that employability advice and your progression advice.
Brilliant, thank you. Anything else from your side? Anything else that you'd like to show the students? Terry?
We do get asked, about the campuses. So construction is split across both campuses. Electrical installations is all on our Ashford site at the Thomas Knivet campus. There's two campuses in Ashford. There's Hair and Beauty, which is an isolated site, but up at the Thomas Knivet site, there's business and electrical installations there, and then everything else regarding construction is all delivered on the Weybridge campus, so carpentry and bricklaying.
And the same for engineering and science. Everything happens at the Weybridge campus. The science department have their own building and own section, and you probably have seen the TikTok video that they made during the summer when they were digging something up, which was forensic science. Bodies.
Yeah.
So that's all at Weybridge. So.
The other question we get asked a lot is about how's the timetable split. So they're joining a vocational practical course. How much practical will they actually do? With all of our courses, and I'm sure Teresa will agree, with engineering and sciences, there's a level of theory. So there is some classroom sessions that will be timetabled within your course. We try to get you in the workshops and in the labs as much as possible, and we try to make the courses as practical as they can be, but it is very important that you have that underpinning knowledge in theory, because in comparison to those working out in industry, you need to be able to show that you've got that deep depth of knowledge and understanding when you're going for the jobs that are available to you when you finish with us.
Absolutely, that's great. Thank you, Terry. Just to say, I think we'll leave it at that this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be asking the schools to share this video throughout your careers sessions at the schools. But if you do have any other questions at all, we'll provide you with all of the information, all the email addresses that you need. So thank you very much for your time, and thank you so much for joining me today, Teresa and Terry.
Thank you, Jo.
you joining from home. Thank you.
Not quite the same as having lots of people to talk to, but you're
No.
very nice.
No. Thank you for joining us, and all the very best for the rest of your academic year. Thank you.
Yeah, all the best, everyone.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.